So thanks everyone for making the time. Pleasure to have everyone joining our talk today. So we've assembled a very interesting bunch of people here for you to learn from, to hopefully gain some insightful information from that can allow you to grow your e-commerce businesses, to grow your Amazon business. And then on our side, we want to look at deep dive into the Amazon ecosystem, the Amazon marketplace, and looking at different examples, different ideas that we'll discuss and share with you guys that can hopefully help you grow your business if you're already trading or get started, if you're looking to join the Amazon marketplace. I myself have personally sold in there too, and it's a great opportunity, great place, providing you have the right product, the right strategies to grow in that ecosystem. So firstly, what we'll do, we'll begin with a round of introductions. So we'll start with Zain Shah. Zain, if you could just let the audience know as to what you do, what your passions are, and yeah, we'll start from there.
My name is Zain Shah, and I've been selling on eBay and Amazon for past about 9 years now. And in together, I have about little over 200 private labels on Amazon at the moment. And I have over 10,000 listings spread across the eBay and Amazon. And this is my full-time thing. And recently, I've been really active on a social media platform like YouTube and stuff. And that's all about me, really.
Thank you for the introduction, Zain. And then, Hai, if you can go next, please.
Hey, thank you for that. So I'm Hai, and I also sell on Amazon for a very long time. And also I had an enterprise software career because I'm a computer engineer. So I kind of mix the two worlds. With my partner, we were able to create a $13 million annual store, and started with private labels, then also kind of incorporated like the wholesaling model as well into that. And in the last 2 years, we created the EVA platform, where we provide an enterprise level software to the Amazon sellers to maximize their profits on Amazon.
Very interesting. It's interesting pivot from the software side to the e-commerce, and then you have a great product that you made. And then Ryan, if you can go next.
Well, it's pretty impressive numbers to follow up on then on the two guys previous, but we're selling on Amazon for 4 years. More recently, in the past year or so, switched to mostly PPC management. So currently managing around £10 million in sales through UK, EU, and USA, among most of just mainly 6- and 7-figure clients selling on Amazon.
Very, very impressive for sure. And then finally, we have Mr. Mohammed Siddiq. If you can go next, please.
Thank you so much. When it comes to Amazon, I'm the most junior person here. Struggling seller. I have probably didn't really make that much money on Amazon. However, I'm in a business for 30 years, co-author of New Success Secrets and the host of Growth Hacking Secret Show. And we are in a relationship business because it does not matter if it's Amazon selling or any other business. When you come into business, you need to learn how to build a relationship with the speed of light. And in fact, you want to create the influence in your own marketplace, create the following for yourself, for the niche you are trying to focus on, and then actually get the product. Because once you get the product, your marketing budget will be 1/10 of your competitors. And you can only win when you know your cost of acquisition of a client before you even put your $1 into buying the product. I have done this for over 20 years. And I have clients all around the world, and hopefully you are the next one.
Perfect. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for the introductions. Very eclectic bunch of people here that we've assigned for you guys, but knowledge keepers, great minds. Hopefully we'll be able to share the wisdom that we can to help everyone in their journey. Brilliant. So next we'll start with the panel. So we'll look at hot selling product ideas for Q3, Q4 2021, or ways that the audience can find other products that can allow them to have a fun, exciting, profitable next 6 months. And then, as we all know, Q4 is what we will strive for in e-commerce, especially on the Amazon platform. So Zain, if you can share your thoughts with the audience, please.
The thoughts on finding a hot selling products is, I always say, guys, The problem with most of the sellers is they find a product first and then they try to find the customer for that product. It doesn't work like that. You have to work other way around. So first you find a particular customer that you want to target, and then you find the products for them. So it's not like you, I mean, it's a very famous quote saying, don't find the customers for your product, find the products for your customers. And this is very underrated things that a lot of people don't really understand. So recently, I'm not just going to give a motivational speech. You guys are not here for that. So I'm just going to give you a product example, really, which will really fit inside this motto, which I always have. So I sell mobile phone and accessories. I mentioned that many times over to the social media. If we comes to selling, let's say, for example, iPhone charging cable, a lot of people are using iPhone charging cable. The first thing which is going to come in mind, okay, the cable out of the box is 1 meter iPhone charging cable. I've given this example many times. And one of the top selling product on Amazon, which I have at the moment, is 3 meter charging cable and 5 meter charging cable. So it's not like I've been Isaac Newton who invented a new product. I just take an existing concept and just been creative with it. And it's the fast selling product as well. It's an old example. I'm just going to give you a new one. It's all about understanding the audience who you are trying to target. So Apple recently came up with their Apple AirTag, which can you can attach with your bag, with your wallet, and all that kind of stuff. And the AirTag doesn't attach with the bag. It doesn't attach with the wallet. You have to have a cover to attach with your bag or with your wallet. And the cover is really expensive. And I've been talking to a supplier in Pakistan, and he told me that I can do this cover. And the cost of that product was little over £1, the landing cost. And you can literally start that with like 500 of just minimum quantity, like 500. A lot of people, they hesitate, like, okay, they have a money, but they don't want to take a lot of risk. So £500, I don't think it is a lot of risk. So order 2,000 of them, and within 10 days, all of them has been sold. And we sold them over £10, little over £10. There is no PPC involved. The tools and everything is great to find the hot selling product. They're gonna eliminate the risk when it's come to selling a product on Amazon. They are all great, but I always say nothing is better than understanding the audience which you are trying to target.
Yeah, very well said. I think naturally, if there isn't an audience, then the product may not sell unless it's super innovative. But yeah, I think also what you covered is taking risks is a part of being an entrepreneur, and there's no such thing as getting a full guarantee until you try. One quick thing I wanted to add, guys. So if you we'll be running some polls across the event, so please feel free to engage and participate in the polls. And then as for questions, either you can leave them in the chat in the question section, and we'll endeavor to answer as many questions as we can at the end of our talk. So Ryan, if you can go next as to your perception on finding products, what kind of can be interesting tools or bits of advice that you could share with the audience.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe a slightly different perspective on product research, which may be good for debate, I guess. Generally, when I do product research and things like that, I recommend people to do product research. I always talk based on the numbers because I think the numbers don't lie. You know, sometimes people just have an idea of a product they want to sell and they go and list it and it doesn't do so well. Obviously, Amazon's a very different place now to what it was in 2016, 2017, where you could list a product that it can start doing quite well. I think with the Apple tags you mentioned, they are still quite new, so maybe not as competitive as some other products. But when people say, oh, I went to go do this the other day and I couldn't find a product for it, and then just go list it because they needed it, sometimes that may not be the best option. Instead, I always prefer to use certain softwares, not go just by the numbers of what that software says, but use it to give me a rough idea of what's selling well, where should I be looking in the market, and then kind of, as Zane said, I guess, then you can look at differentiating that product and kind of making yourself stand out with the branding, differentiations, bundles, whatever it may be. But it would always be software focused so that I know the demand, I know the gap in the market, rather more so than just kind of thinking of what's good to sell, which generally doesn't work out too well for most people, just from my experience.
Yeah, fair enough. I think numbers don't lie is something that we need to print on a T-shirt and share with everyone, because
Yeah.
it's funny how often that gets ignored, because they don't. So definitely. But adding to a few other things you said, yeah, definitely some great points. Hi, did you have any perspective also to share in terms of product search?
Oh yeah.
finding products.
Sure. Zain and Ryan are definitely the experts on that. But one of the things that I realize, we have like more than 1,000 Amazon sellers on our platform. One of the things that I realize now, people are going out more frequently. So there are like two things happening. Like one is the summer related products. Like people are now thinking about going on vacation. They want to go like travel, and also like even they just go to restaurants. So like they need to have a nice shape, they want to do something with their hair or with their face. So there's like a lot of like interesting, like as Ryan said, it's all about data. When I look at my like the stores that are selling beauty products, I see an increase now, like hair dryers, or like anything like a face masks, or because like all the men and women, they all want to look more beautiful now, because they're now going to a restaurant or somewhere. Before, they were just sitting in their homes. So there's like a trend changing now. Also, they just go to vacation and they just need to buy more stuff, especially with like juniors, because like the teenagers, the juniors, babies, now they all change. Like in the last 2 years, they all grown up, right? So like the families need to buy things for them. So these are the kind of areas where I see this post-COVID impact, and people are buying a lot of stuff right now. That's what I see.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think also when you're not allowed to leave, I think that's where e-commerce has grown. Well, not exponentially; it's always been growing, but more so in this environment where A, you can't leave, B, you're just bored and you want to buy things more so, I guess, to keep yourself busy. And we have a habit of spending money. If you can't spend on one thing, I guess you want to spend on something else. Mohammed, did you have anything else that you wanted to add as to finding products, or kind of the ethos of trying to find the right products, or whatever the right product is, to get started or to grow your portfolio?
Yeah, once you have a product, you made up your decision. I want to execute as per Zain, Ryan, and Hai, and I agree with all three of them, because that's the right perspective. Once you pick one, the next thing is you need to build a velocity of that sale. You can't have a 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, even 1 week. Organically keep pushing it, just like getting on the highway. More sale, that will actually explode the algorithm of not manipulating, explode it almost, because they say, what is happening? Because you will keep showing in a recommendation engine all over. That's where what you need to do. You need to have an influence of your people who are following you. And not only following you, you need to have a relationship with many, many other influencers, especially the micro influencers who have 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers, 3,000 followers, because they all have a very close, tight-knit relationship with each other. Because when someone has 1,000 followers, they ask their people to, hey, here's the link and buy now button, buy it. They will buy it even though they don't need it. Why? Because they love him or her. So that is the way to actually stay ahead of your competition, and almost like crush your competition. And once you are in that business, now the product is hard selling, ongoing consistently. I was the number one in 12 years in my business, with competing with 30 companies. And number 2, number 3, number 4 combined volume was less than my number 1. Just that. So that's the secret of 12 years of experience.
Sure. I think naturally, once you have the product, then naturally how you market it, and then finding various ways to do so, including influencers and other community leaders, is definitely a great way to grow that brand and the product and the needs for it as well. Brilliant. Okay, let's move to the next topic. So more so, I guess, for Ryan and Zain, is how to optimize your ads in Amazon to grow your business, which obviously it's a bit of a minefield at times with all the different types of ads one can run, and then constantly refining it, evolving it, and it can be a bit tricky at times. So Ryan, if you can share your thoughts in that first, please.
Very hard topic to talk over in the amount. You'd obviously talk about this for hours and hours and hours, trying to go over how to optimize campaigns I guess probably the easy way to do it is go over mistakes people make when setting up campaigns and the very simplest ways you can start to optimize.
Yeah.
With you'd be astonished. The 6 and 7 figures, some of the sellers we work with are selling £4,000 or £5,000 a day, and they've never downloaded a search term report. Now, some of you may not even know what one of those is. Basically, something you can download from your PPC campaigns to see what keywords you've been spending money on. And the sellers doing hundreds of thousands a year who never actually download this report when we go into their accounts. So just something as simple as understand where is your money actually going. There's so many different targeting types now to target different keywords, and sometimes you can target one and that will lead to 20 others. And people only look at the kind of overlay of the data that I'm targeting this one keyword. How is that doing? They don't look at what that keyword is finding in the report. So I think just knowing where your money is going and optimizing your campaigns based on that to stop targeting keywords to target new ones and learn from what you're doing. That's a very important point right there. And just to keep it quite simple, just knowing where your money's going, look at your search term report and optimize based on that by taking out things and targeting new areas as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think naturally it's a trial and error approach, but also, as you mentioned, is keeping an eye on the keywords that are and are not working. Great. So Zain, if you can go next and share your perspectives as well, please. Thank you.
I mean, as Ryan said, PPC is a topic like we can spend hours and hours talking about it. It's very subjective to the product that you are selling, but my general rule is everyone is just trying to hack the Amazon A9 algorithm. Like, I want the algorithm to work for me. Like, this is a very hot subject. But algorithm is not really designed to work with the sellers. Algorithms simply follow the audience, the way the audience are reacting to your particular PPC campaign. As the Ryan said, you really have to look into your report.
Yes.
Giving some sort of example is my personal strategy about the PPC is, rather than going after highly search volume keywords, which are obviously people are searching for it a lot, but the cost of PPC is going to be huge there and going to be a lot of competition. I normally target around like a mid search volume, long tail keywords, even though they are not like very effective in terms of getting a visibility, but that will keep my PPC cost really down and I will keep a higher conversion rate. Again, I said PPC is very subjective to the product that you are selling. You have to look at your report and then just take it from there.
Yeah, I think, as you mentioned, the topic is got so many different elements and moving parts to it, and then it's just constantly evolving it more so with the findings again and again and again. And then I suppose that's where it gets tricky, is how willing are we to keep evolving it, sharpening it, refining it again and again and again. Cool. So let's go to the next topic. We'll go to how to use influencer marketing to boost your product sales. So Sadiq, if you want to go and share your insights into the importance of influencer marketing and generally creating a lot of buzz around your product and services through influencer marketing and through networks in general.
Yeah, I have been doing for so long. And in any business, you want to create a brand for yourself. People know and other people talking about the brand. And the reality is that does not come from the ads much, because ads, everybody's competing, spending their dollars, which is a good thing, it's needed. However, it's what they call a necessity evil, and platforms are making a lot of money on this. On influencers, other people are recommending it. We live in a recommendation age. Whole Amazon works on review based. That's a recommendation, silent recommendation. Hey, I like this product. You may want to check it out. That's what they're saying, really. They're sharing their lifestyle experience. So as an influencer, when they talk about product reviews, their followers actually follow whatever they say. So it's a huge competitive advantage you have as a brand owner against your competition. And that's whenever you have follow-up products, like a product A, you bought it, and then you are launching the second SKU, the third one, fourth one. Bigger the brand is from influencers, your cost of marketing will stay way low, and you will have more conversions and more sales, because your conversion, ACoS, everything matters a lot in this case. More conversions you have with less advertising cost, you will have more bottom line, what everybody's looking for in business,
Absolutely. I think, naturally, it's everyone wants a little bit of free traffic, but naturally, some of the influencer campaigns come at cost, but can be way cheaper than spending tens of thousands on constantly relying on one avenue. So I guess diversifying is crucial. Hi, did you have any thoughts you could share also with us? I suppose also with how you grew Eva through different elements to build traction, win communities. And these communities are hard, but very easy as well at the same time to win over.
Well, my influencer consulting is Siddiq, so I just agree. I agree with him all the time, because I actually ask him about the influencer marketing most of the time. It's extremely important, given that the PPC. That's very important, but it's not like a cheap thing. You need to do it. You need to spend a lot of money. By the way, PPC alone, it doesn't give you the right impact. You need to have the right price, right photograph, right video, right content, and right feedbacks. And the feedbacks, obviously, you can get from the Amazon sellers, but also you need the influencers, and it's not as expensive if you think about the money you spend to PPC. $100,000 revenue per month guy can spend maybe $20,000-$30,000 on PPC, and then it may make sense to spend a couple of $1,000s into the influencer network as well. So psychologically, people just think, oh, ACOS 30%, but it's like too much money. And then why not to spend some money to influencer network so that you can bring traffic from these sites? It's much cheaper, and it is really important and mandatory.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's all about finding new ways as well as tried and tested ways, which has become more mainstream as with the influencer channels to get traffic and conversions, especially if it's a targeted audience that is relevant to your product. Cool. And Ryan, did you also want to share a few things as you run your own groups, trying to inspire people to Facebook groups? Where do you think we can also learn from in terms of influencer marketing?
It depends on the product. Influencer marketing is something that I've never really used too much, like for Amazon products themselves. I think when you build yourself to an established level, it definitely has its place. Some products more than others. I think we've worked with people before that have baby products and like children's products. I think recommendations of products like that work stronger than if you're selling a phone case. If someone recommends a phone case, it's not really like you have to get that one, but I feel people with younger like children, things like that, they're more kind of particular about the products they buy. They want something safer and like something good quality. So I think it depends on the product. Again, it's not something I've really used too much. I've always kind of gone more for the analytical side of PPC numbers and that kind of thing. But again, I think if your brand's big enough, if it's established enough, if you've got the spare capital there to go for the influencers, it doesn't have to be the big ones that have 100,000 followers. It's like Siddiq said earlier, even the ones that are between 0, 10,000, 20,000 followers, you get a few of those on board. It generally don't cost that much. It can all add up. So I think it has its place. It's just not something I've really used too much in the past.
Fair enough. I think naturally it's about do what works for you and trying different ways. And if it's working really well and you have a system, then naturally it's better to also scale it. Zain, if you can add some closing remarks on this topic, please.
Yeah, sure. Amazon opened up their platform where the influencer can actually be the part of Amazon platform where they can do the live stream and recommend the products to the people who are watching that live stream. I am very keen on it. I believe this is the way to go in the future. As Hai said, that the PPC is not something where you can actually grow your products to a level. PPC can be a curse as well. A lot of people say, okay, I'm just going to spend a lot of money on advertising in the beginning and then take my products to a level. But once they take off the PPC, the product doesn't sell. Amazon, I mean, obviously they have more data, they have more numbers which they can compare, and they know the power of influencer marketing. And that's why they build in a streaming system where I, as an influencer, kind of join Amazon platform, and based on expertise that I have, I can recommend the products with the customers. So I think in the future, what's going to happen, which is my prediction, other than the reviews, if you are particularly looking for a product, the video or a live stream which is particularly talking about that product is going to show up inside the Amazon platform, because Amazon doesn't want people to leave Amazon, go to the YouTube and come back. That's why they are building this one. And for that, they really need the influencer to actually promote the products. And as Mohammed said, the connection between the influencer and the consumer is actually a lot stronger than any kind of advertising. So I see there is a huge potential. At the moment, as Ryan said, the way the things are designed, I'm not personally using an influencer as much as well. But I see there is a huge potential as the mainstream media, even though the things like PPC or Google Ads and those things are actually, there's a very decline in the demand of those things as well as compared to what influencer marketing is. So at the moment, no. In the future, this is the things you want to get on.
Yeah, very interesting. I think that would be very cool, I suppose, with the Amazon Marketplace always kind of evolving. If there's the addition of influencers selling inside the platform, more so like a QVC, for the modern age.
It's happening already. I mean, Amazon is like the streams are. I don't know any person who do the product reviews and not streaming on Amazon nowadays.
Sure.
So there are tons of influencers already doing it, but it's just the need to bring more awareness to it.
Yeah, for sure. The future will be very interesting in that. I think there's definitely a lot of space. I think in Asia, it's quite popular in terms of live streams and selling product via live streams and social media. But yeah, let's see what happens. It will be very interesting to see what happens next. Cool. Thanks a lot, guys, for your interesting input there. Moving on to the next topic, we'll talk about how to save money selling on Amazon marketplaces. So we'll start with Hai. If you can kind of share your input there as to what we can share with the audience in regards to trying to save some money also, as well as trying to make money selling on Amazon.
Right. I mean, I think, the right question here is like how to really maximize the profits, because there are two ways of doing that. Either you reduce your operational costs or you increase your profits per item, per transaction. And that's what, I've been working on for the last couple of years, because I think that to start selling on Amazon is easy. To make money, real money, is really hard. Like Amazon is just showing you that revenue, like, oh, you're great revenue. And then you just look at your expenses and it's like, wow, Amazon is taking most of the money back from you in some different ways. So it's important to look at the operations, make sure that, I think, make sure that you are working with really like the top quality virtual assistants or top quality people. I would recommend, don't work with like 10 people that are like half good. Like just get 2 people that are really great, in your teams, because I really don't see the quantity really helps that much. Okay, so that will be one saving. Number 2, and that's how like we developed our EVA platform. It's very much about like, for example, a task of replenishment can be done in our platform in almost like 30 seconds, which can, if it's done manually, it will be like 4 or 5 days of work, every month or every week to just understand like what are the products to be restocked. So it's important to use the software to replace a lot of things that are done manually. And that's what we are trying to do, and have the right people to, good quality people to work with, and I think that will be important. Now, the other thing is like not only the software will help to automate processes like replenishments or reimbursements, but also and one of the key points is the reimbursements. Like for example, like we do more than $500,000 of reimbursements, which means that we look at the Amazon transactions, find the anomalies, and report it back manually, and get what the sellers already owe from Amazon. Like this is 2 to 3%. Like at this moment, we are at statistically 2.4% of the monthly revenue we can recover, which is a huge amount of money. It's just like profit, So that's something that I recommend every seller is looking into that. And maybe a last one is the pricing. Many of the resellers, they know about like pricing is extremely important, and to use a pricing management to maximize the profit and get the buybacks. That's very important for resellers. But when I talk to private labels, Amazon has like more than 400 brands. All of them are dynamically priced. So even for the private labels, it is important to know what is the best price at what time, like what's the today's price, tomorrow's price. It all changes with Amazon brands. It's the same with the private labels. They can also use that, private label pricing. So a combination of automated restocking, automated pricing management and dynamic pricing, and making sure the reimbursements are there, that can easily bring like a great saving, as well as an additional, 15 to 25% profits.
Great. Yeah, that's some really good points there. I think at the end of the day, it's not just about revenue, it's about how profitable you are, and then where you're looking to find ways to claw in some savings through the activities, and then through the buy box and all those different areas to make sure you're staying competitive and getting the traffic. And some great points there. Zane, if you want to go next as to what are ways where businesses can scale, grow, but also try and save where possible as well. Yeah.
I love saving money, and as much I love making money, I love saving money more than that, with open transparency. My dad used to say, it doesn't matter how much you make, it matters how much you save. And it's a really good thing. I truly believe that you don't make profit by selling the product. You actually make profit when you buy the product. I negotiate really hard when I buy a product to sell on Amazon, because I know this is where my saving is as compared to when I will sell the products. If I can source cheaper, I can make more profit. Then obviously the next step is something who is selling on Amazon, it will be shipping. I would rather wait more, but I will use sea shipping, because the cost is probably 100 times cheaper as compared to air shipping. The next thing will be, I try my best to keep really familiar with whatever is going on in the market, because as I give an example about the cover for the A tag, I didn't even run the PPC on it as well. So by being familiar with what market is asking for there, that will be a great way. And obviously, I love numbers. I love analytics. I mean, I spend hours and hours of looking through those things. Going in a seller dashboard and looking at my conversion rate and all those kind of things as well. There are many tools which can be really effective. I always say, as Hai said as well, in my opinion on it, if I can do something like a DIY it and I spend 9 hours on it in a day just to save little money on it, that I don't want to buy that tool. I would rather spend £10 and save a lot of time, because I know my time is more valuable than. So, but sometimes we have this thing, okay, I don't want to subscribe to this tool. It's a monthly cost, or this. At the end of the day, you actually save time and you save more money. So by wrapping up the things, like if there is a tool out there, if there are the services out there which can save you tons of time, which you will be spending by yourself. You're going to be spending a lot of time, and your time is very valuable. You can spend your time somewhere else and you can probably will be able to make more profit out of your time. I will go ahead and I will take those tools, and I've been never really hesitant to really subscribe to any tool or anything, like any services or any platform, because I know at the end of the day I'm going to be saving money.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all for me.
Cool. Yeah, I think saving money is as important as making money, right? Because if you don't save it, then then it might not be around later. But yeah, no, some great points. Ryan, did you have anything else to add?
Not particularly so much from saving money standpoint. I guess just calculating costs. It's really, really easy to calculate your costs on Amazon. The costs you have are quite simple. There's only 5 or 6 of them. And just calculate them when you start. Know what your sale price is going to be. Calculate your costs. And just be realistic with yourself. I see too many people see an average price on Amazon of, say, £12 to £15, and they calculate their cost and then choose their price to give them that margin. So if they want 30%, they'll calculate their cost to be £13. Okay, perfect. I'll sell it for 19, then I have my profit margin, and don't actually then think about selling that product for £19 in a £15 market. I think you've got to be price competitive. I just think you've got to be very realistic when calculating your costs in the first place, which isn't too hard. So a lot of people kind of kid themselves when they go for margin calculations because they get very emotionally invested in their product. They contact suppliers to do the research. They really want to do this product, and they try and make the numbers work to do that product. I mean, you should always just go with the numbers and don't get emotionally attached to a certain product.
Some great points there as well. Yeah, I think naturally it's use case dependent by having key practices in place and being structured as to how one can go about saving those costs through the different mechanisms you mentioned is some great points. And Sadiq, if you can add your closing remarks in regards to this topic, please.
Yeah, so one variable is the cost of acquisition of a customer. That's a huge, like Zain said, he found out a way, like a larger cable, and Ryan said, no, it's a very high risk. Here's a sneaky, don't tell anyone, just use it for yourself, okay? First of all, get all the possible tools. Starts with eva.guru by Hi. Okay, just 100%. I have seen it, it works, it's amazing. Number 1, get all the tools. It will save you money and time and effort and predictability. On the top of it, when you're introducing a new product, there's not enough data in the tools because of the new post-COVID. There are so many new things that are happening. There's not enough history. Here's a sneaky way and a very cost-effective way. Imagine Google AdWords in 2001 and 2002 when there was a 1 cent a click. I used it for very large scale at the time. That's available right now. Can you imagine? It's available right now for 1 cent. Not even, sometimes less than a cent. Imagine your new product, whatever the idea you have, and there's not enough data, you can create your own customer base right on the fly. It will show up on every TV, connected TVs, like the little company called Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime. All those, we are smart TVs. Your ad can appear as seen on TV 5,000 times a month, 10,000 times a month, 100,000 times a month, all over the world, wherever you're focusing on. And it is a very fraction of a price what you're trying to do it on PPC and wherever. Okay, on Amazon ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, everywhere, hands down, it will be 10 cents per dollar thing. That's a much huge difference. From there, take a call to action, seen on TV 10,000 times a month, 100,000 times a month. Call to action is text me on this number. Now you got their cell phone numbers. Okay, there you're getting a text, and from there, push them to your social media pages, TikTok, wherever, because that's where you're doing live and engaging with them, like Ryan and Zain and everybody else is doing. Now you're going to demonstrate and create influence, and their social media algorithm will create your bigger influence, and then from there push to your influencer page on Amazon. Now you can track all the way how much you're converting that one, to end, with the absolutely fraction of the cost what you would do it in any other marketing. Try it out, provided your business is creating an ad for a TV and a distribution all to end is a very, very fraction of a cost of any traditional TV or even traditional PPC. This is the first time I ever exposed this idea on a public platform. We have been using it. We never discussed it outside.
Very interesting. I think naturally with the digital marketing in the last decade that it's dominated, people forget the other methods that were there before. And, it's quite interesting, some of those numbers on a monthly basis, if you look at the ad spend. And in terms of perhaps there are other ways where one can get more exposures, different types of exposure where other competitors are not there. So yeah, some great points there as to not just always, I guess, look at one avenue or two avenue or three, maybe completely look at where everybody else is not even thinking about. Great, interesting for sure. Thanks guys for sharing your perspectives. Moving to the next topic, going global, how to grow and scale your business globally. So yeah, that's, I guess, everyone's dream. I think it's been mine anyway. I think most businesses dream to do so. However, picking the right places, picking the right territories, picking the right product fit is, of course, a huge challenge. And then of course, there's various other things too. So Hai, if you want to just share your perspective as to going global and selling products across different territories, what would be your perspective and guidance you can share?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, Amazon.com or US market is the largest. So if you're not selling on Amazon.com, it's the easiest way to start as like a second market. Like if you're in UK or any other place, I always recommend that it's not that difficult. Because now Amazon FBA is like like fully, very much like working on in US. So if you can just get like a prep center, or even you can like the sellers can directly send the items to Amazon warehouse also as a starting point, and then maybe find a 3PL to make the process even more efficient. But selling in US, with FBA should be a great option. Well, of course, if the audience is like already selling in US and going for the expansion to the next market, Europe is great. And the beauty of Europe, excluding UK, by the way, I mean, that's I don't know the political thing, but the thing is, because UK is not a part of EU, but we see all our customers like they just go and right now Germany is very popular. They just like push things to Germany, the Amazon warehouse, and then Amazon is distributing to all Italy, Spain, even Poland, Sweden, France, and all to Netherlands and all this market. So it's a great population, a great diversity. So I would go for that. And of course the UK, and then move to the Asian markets as well, which is getting better and better all the time. So yeah, that will be my first like a pragmatic strategy. And Amazon FBA is allowing really the full distribution almost everywhere. So that's really a great way to sell globally.
Yeah, for sure. I think with a lot of new advents and changes in marketplaces, opening up different territories has become a lot easier than before. But then, as you mentioned, I think there's various opportunities, not just Europe or North America. There's also Asia too. It's just about what's the right product fit, where you can be finding new opportunities where your customers are and competitors are maybe not. Ryan, what are your perspectives as to trying to grow global, especially now for the British sellers with Brexit? It's kind of made things a little bit tricky in terms of accessing Europe, but I guess there's always other countries.
Yeah, it's definitely become more difficult since Brexit. Before, it was literally the click of a button, you're in Europe, and it's going on quite smoothly. Now there's obviously different steps with getting VAT registered in certain European countries and having to directly ship into Europe to do pan-EU from Europe, where previously you could disperse from UK to all of Europe. In terms of kind of expanding globally, I would still probably recommend people, if you're in the UK, to expand to EU, just purely because I think it's still the easiest one to kind of go to first before going overseas to the US. The US is no doubt a bigger market, but I think for the ease of expanding to Europe with a few clicks and getting VAT registered, it's still quite easy to expand. It's still a very big market in all of Europe, and you can kind of manage it all from the one Seller Central still. So it's quite intuitive to move to EU and have it all in one place, and then obviously move to the US after that. But it's just whatever people feel is best for them, whatever best for their product. Yeah, just go with that.
Yeah, definitely. There's different opportunities, and then when things get harder, doesn't mean there's things are impossible. There's still solutions that are there, and I guess it's up to the business owner to make those decisions and to take that big move wherever the product's right, and the research has been done and the planning is as well as it can be as well. Zain, if you can go next.
So going international is really dream. I mean, we can't really go international much nowadays, but obviously we can send and sell our products internationally. Going global, obviously, if US is a bigger market, in Europe, obviously, Germany is a lot bigger market. It's great to sell in those markets, and it's just simple as you will be taking more swings, and chances are you're going to get more revenue at the end of the day. But my opinion will be, obviously, there are more consumers, but there are markets which are growing at the moment, and the competition is a lot less there. So, for example, Amazon was planning to launch in Netherlands. I'm not sure if they have done it
They've
yet.
done that now.
Or
Yeah, active in Netherlands.
yeah, so it's a great market. And the other day I was reading a survey in which they were saying in Netherlands, the fastest they can get their package delivered is still about 2 to 3 working days, and I think an only reason is because they don't have a lot of sellers at the moment, and they don't have a lot of logistics in place where they can deliver the parcel next working days. I mean, so it's the thing is, like, market is growing day by day. Other than America, UAE is a recently new market. Saudi Arabia is a new market, like for the Amazon as well. These markets are really going to do tremendously, really well over the period of time. So going global again, it's subjective to the products that you are selling as well. But definitely, if you're a seller living in UK, I am personally thinking to at least sell in another European country, so that will give me access across the Europe, because we are not in Europe anymore. So again, it's very subjective to the products that you are selling, how appealing they are to the international buyers, as well as I will personally look into the market which are really growing, and the growth will be really tremendous over the coming years.
Yeah, definitely. There's tons of opportunity, guys. And then, yeah, dream and dream big. And there's, as you mentioned, Netherlands, that could be a very interesting market for sure as well. I didn't even know they opened up in Netherlands. So that's something new you learn every day, I suppose. And Sadiq, if you want to add your final remarks in this topic as to going global.
World is a global village, and this is true right now because we can't really travel much. So you have to go to that village yourself. Here's how you do it: find a local influencer in that country, where that place, and combine with the connected premier, I said, streaming ads. You will dominate it. Everybody will know about your product. Simplest, easier way. And of course, you have to follow the tools which are available to get all the data, and follow the local laws and everything. This is how you can get the expert tools, expert opinion, expert help wherever it's possible, and combined with the cost of acquisition of a customers to the lowest possible. So that way you can become a local brand, almost unfair advantage instantly.
Very interesting, for sure. Yeah, some great points, guys. Thanks for sharing all your insights and the perspectives. So the final topic before we go into live Q&A, where we will answer as many questions as we can, is tools, softwares needed to run a successful business on Amazon. Which ones can you guys recommend to the audience that they can check out? There's loads of things in the market. Hi is running a great tool where is helping people save money in areas that they didn't know. So that's one. But yeah, there's loads. So Zain, if you want to go first.
You put me in a very difficult position here.
You can, unless you've got like commercial people. So.
I mean, I'm going to be very. Again, I said on my YouTube channel as well, and everywhere, I have a free access to almost every tool out there. It's like tons of email every single day, and you want me to pick sides here, really. I'm going to lose a lot of access here.
Well, you can say everyone's name or ones that you feel types of service problems that they solve.
But again, as soon they approach me, I always tell them I'm going to be absolutely transparent. The way your tools are, either give me a free access. If I like it, I'll probably do a video about it. I'm not sure. But that's like my approach in the beginning, like always. Like I tell them, like, if there is a negative side to it, I'm just gonna say it openly, publicly, no filter. Don't get offended, otherwise take your tool back. I always say that. Particularly selling on Amazon, I personally use Jungle Scout a lot. Helium 10 is great as well, but these are my two favorites. Again, I don't know why did I say that publicly, but I committed to just saying it. So Helium 10 and Jungle Scout will be my favorite. Both of the tools are for the product research. On the other side, one thing I always like to tell you, tools are great. I love numbers. I'm like a data-driven guy. I take my decision based on what the tools will recommend me. But tools are there to make your life easy. But this is not compulsory by no shape or form. Obviously, tools will save you a lot of money, and they're great the way they are. You're going to spend tons of time if you will go without tools. But a lot of people are actually stuck that we don't know how to use those tools as well. And it is actually more important as compared to asking for what tool is good there. But first, go and look. Almost every tool have a free trial nowadays. Look which one you understand better, which one work for you as well. Because rather than a tool, it is most important that you learn to use you learn how to use that tool and what stats and analytics that tool is telling you at the same time. So learning a tool is very important, and my favorites are Jungle Scout and Helium 10. I've been recently using Keepa a lot because it works with both eBay and Amazon, but I'm kind of don't like the way that tool is designed. If you guys listening, do it better. But Jungle Scout and Helium 10 is my favorites. Yeah.
Cool, lovely. And then, Hai, if you can go next.
Well, sure. Well, I mean, if I can list like 3 tools, like definitely it will be. I really like what Zane said, because in our business we used a lot Jungle Scout, we used a lot Helium 10, and I mean all the things that are not existing in Jungle Scout and Helium 10. We actually build it on Eva, which includes like all the pricing management, replenishments, reimbursements, and analytics. My thinking is moving forward, there are like so many tools. I don't think it will be required to use a lot of tools. Like, you know, even like picking, I mean, just because we talk about them, even like picking Helium 10, Jungle Scout, and Eva, I don't think there is anything else left. Like there is no reason to pick any other tool. Like I would go for this 3 because like definitely you need to have a tool for product search, another tool for keyword tracking, monitoring, analysis, and all that stuff, and another tool for analytics, pricing, replenishments, reimbursements, and all that stuff. So I like the idea of having just 3 tools and make it simple. And use the tools which are really intuitive, like the UI is designed beautifully. You can understand it. If it takes more than, I don't know, 15-20 minutes that you're still struggling as an Amazon seller, there is no point to use that tool from my perspective. And yeah, every tool comes with that free trial, and it's really easy. It's the first half an hour. You get it or not? You know, if you don't get 80% of it in half an hour, there is a problem. And I recommend to manage all the business with 2 or 3 platforms, not more than that.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Some great points there. And then Ryan, if you want to go next.
Yeah. Very, very simple. Helium, I've used Jungle Scout for a few years, or used to. Then I started using Helium 10, and I just find it a better software. To be honest, it's the software that I mainly use now. And while using Helium 10, I never really find a use for much else. It has your product research, keyword research, email outreach. It has almost everything you're going to need is all in Helium 10. So I don't personally find I'm ever wanting or needing anything else really. So yeah, that's basically Helium 10 is the one I use for kind of the main specific Amazon things like your product research, keyword research. Other things outside of that, I may use other tools, but mainly just like Amazon directed is just Helium 10 for me.
Cool, thanks for that. And then Mohammed, do you have any other tools that could be relevant for e-commerce sellers, Amazon sellers that can help them out?
3 of them.
Sure.
Start with eva.guru by Hi. And instead of a Helium 10, try Zonguru, Zonguru. And there's one more tool you may not heard about is Amalyze, Amalyze. I don't own any one of them. However, I have a relationship with all of them. Full disclosure.
Cool. Thanks for that. One thing I wanted to add on our side is one tool I think which kind of gets unnoticed and probably not as much attention because it's not necessarily as glamorous in regards to making money, finding new products, is how we manage our business as a whole in regards to our bookkeeping, our accounting, our filing, our cash flow. And that's kind of on my side, a little bit biased, but naturally, if we're not managing our books properly, if we're not managing our Excel sheets, which is kind of a little bit out of date to grow a business into year 2, year 3, year 4, then it can be very difficult to run a business. So I think one thing I want to share is in regards to growing a business. I myself have run an Amazon business before where we did around 400K revenue. So we did okay, nothing's amazing, but we were able to grow it. And then what changed the game for us is when we did get some accounting support to better manage our forecasting, our cash flow, looking at how to spend, where to spend. So that I would like to add to the discussion is, I think, a really important thing to be conscious of as you grow your business is to not ignore the bookkeeping and managing your numbers. Because if you don't manage your numbers, then you can't manage a business. That's a sad truth in terms of year 2, year 3, and 4, and so on. So on our side, with Awesome, what we do, we provide a bookkeeping platform, and it plugs into Amazon. Amazon's our partner. So is Jungle Scout, talking to Helium 10. So is Payoneer. So we work with a lot of companies in the ecosystem, and we have integrations with most e-commerce platforms. So yeah, adding to the mix is don't ignore the numbers, don't ignore the bookkeeping. And then on our side, like everything which is great, not everything great is free, but we also have a free service. We also will be providing everyone who's attended 30 days free. We also, Fawad, we are a Xero Platinum partner. So we work alongside Xero. Cool. Moving on. So thanks a lot, guys, for sharing amazing insights throughout the last hour or so. So we'll kind of spend the next 10 minutes or so, if that's okay with you guys, to cover some questions. So I'm just going to pick through. Apologies if I ignore some of these questions. We'll try to answer as many as possible, and then we can follow up on email. So let's start with any new tools you have come across from Raja that you can suggest, because people are always looking for, I think, what's new, what's exciting, any new tools that you guys have come across. Feel free for anyone to answer the question.
I think people are always looking for the new thing, something like what's a new strategy, the new way to find products, the new ways to do PPC. There's softwares out there like Helium 10 and Jungle Scout have been doing it for years. I don't really see the need in trying to find the new thing. If something's working, then you don't try and reinvent the wheel, but that's just my take.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else, guys? Anyone else want to add something on what new tools they found?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm gonna add something around like what is new in Eva.guru, which is the replenishment forecast. That was like one of the biggest problems that we had when we were an Amazon seller, having multiple suppliers and like having micro shipments, and deciding on which item to replenish first based on the profit level, but also making sure that nothing is going out of stock, like creating an algorithm. So we built that with the Stanford University and released it like a month ago. And what we see is like it saves the time to come with a restocking forecast almost by 90%. So that, I don't know if there is any other tool doing that. Like we kind of innovated the concept of profit velocity based replenishment for resellers. I think that's an interesting one to share.
Definitely, I think it adds a lot of value in regard. I've seen the software, and it's for sure a great software for sure. And then new tools adding to that. Again, not putting a plug, but we have at Awesome probably the most unique product in terms of bookkeeping and accounting, where we do work with Xero as our backend accounting ledger. So we give away Xero subscription, but we give you a platform which plugs in all the relevant data, i.e. your cash flow, i.e. your invoices owed, bills needing to be paid in one platform. Then alongside that, and all of that's automated. So all your comms in terms of managing your finances, managing your invoices, managing your communication with your accountant is all taken into one platform, where you get a web app, you'll get a mobile app, plus you get an accountant. So that combination so far does not exist. And that's something that we've been able to successfully grow across Singapore, Hong Kong, UK, and soon to be Australia. So I think it's definitely something on our side we are massively encouraged to manage bookkeeping way better, because that's an area that is going to also obviously help businesses grow and scale. Okay, so let's move to something, I guess, let's go here. There's a few questions to go through.
Good. While you find the next question, I just want to add something. A lot of people who are established sellers or who are new sellers as well. I've been doing accounting, obviously, not personally, obviously, I'm using accounting services from very long time now. If you have a software, any software out there in the market, for the bookkeeping, obviously you need a subscription for it. And then on the top of that, if you go hire an accountant to do your tax return once in a year, that's going to cost you nearly around £1,000, 600 to £1,000, and that's like your cost as well. Then on the top of that, you're gonna go take a subscription for something which will link your bank together and then Amazon together, where you can put everything at one place. Even if I look at personally by the price point of view, I think particularly if you are an e-commerce seller, you sell on eBay and Amazon. I'm not like saying it because this event is hosted by Awesome. I'm personally saying that it's an awesome solution for any e-commerce seller. It's a cost-effective. You get everything at one place, along with your accountant. You can ask the real-time question with them as well. Your bookkeeping at one place. You know your numbers. I personally really love it as well. So we move on to next question.
Thank you, Fazain, for your kind words. And then, just echoing into just helping businesses scale faster and taking away the admin on the accounting side and bookkeeping. So how, I guess, negative feedback and I guess that happens. So I think that's a tricky one, because naturally there can be people sabotaging one's brand. It could be competitors. That's something I myself have personally found also. It's a tricky one. So how can one remove or request to remove negative feedback? I don't know if that's a thing. Ryan, if you want to start with that one in terms of negative feedback, how to manage it and tackle it.
It depends where the feedback is left. If it's left as seller feedback, then you do have grounds sometimes to remove it. Amazon are quite, I guess, more so lenient of removing seller feedback. If it's a product review, you've got a 99% chance that that's not going anywhere. It's very, very difficult to remove it. The only situations where I'll see sometimes they will take things out is if it's a complaint purely based on the fact that the product didn't arrive or arrived late, in which case, if it's FBA, Amazon will take responsibility for that and say it's our fault, it didn't arrive, we ship the product, and they will sometimes take it away. But even then, sometimes they'll just leave it there. It's very difficult to get rid of reviews on Amazon. Easiest way to do it is just to have a good product, not get negative reviews.
Yeah, For sure, it's tricky, and yeah, there's different ways to tackle it, and then yeah, there's different areas where it's left, and yeah. Sadiq, if you had anything else to add as to just tackling negative feedback, I suppose, as a whole.
Yeah, reply as a brand, as a seller, and accept the mistake and say thank you for the opportunity. We have corrected on the new version. The new shipment came, and we were happy to send you the new one and try out and get the new feedback from them. And most of the time, people are very happy for that one, even though they may not buy, they may not correct. However, someone is reading the negative review. That's everybody read that one first before they buy. They will say, seller is very responsible. They offered a free kind of replenishment for the product, and they were very professional and accepted the mistake. That people usually give them a second chance.
Yeah, for sure. And then, anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, by the way, we provide that service free to our customers. Like, we take care of the negative feedback. We don't charge. If they are if we do reimbursements, we also take care of the negative feedback with our platform, because it's not just the software we provide. The reimbursements is a service, and it's just an additional service. A couple of customers asked, and we do it. One thing that I can say is, like, for FBM, for FBA, it's not that difficult, like, to ask for the removal of the negative feedback. For the FBM, I may recommend that the sellers come up with some ideas, like maybe do a 50% refund or 100%, just for the sake of removal of the feedback. So there is like a procedure, and then somebody needs to execute that as well, with the consumer, right? Like, if they want the negative feedback to be removed. Yeah, so that's what I can add.
Yeah, for sure. Some great points there. Moving on to another question. I want to sell from Amanda. I want to sell my own clothing line, but how do I find a trusted quality manufacturer? Any tips where to look first? Anything you can add there, Zain, as to finding manufacturers, maybe in the clothing space or in general, where Amanda could start her search?
If you are looking to have the brand new clothing, I don't know if you are looking to sell used clothing or brand new clothing, but particularly for brand new clothing, obviously Alibaba is king. Obviously, you just design a template and say, okay, this is my minimum requirement and that's my budget. If you know how, obviously, the things from getting a thing from China to UK or US, wherever you are, if you understand that how they work, but if you don't, just put that inside a message and ask your supplier about it as well. Send the message to probably 50 of them and then get a couple of samples. Alibaba is a great place to start as well. If you're looking at used clothing, there are tons of them based in UK as well. Said Vintage is one of them. They have a really good reviews on that as well. Also, for the used clothing, for the new one, Alibaba is a great place to start. I'm not really sure what kind of clothing in general, like the kids one or something, then I will be able to give you more specific answer, but that's the place to start.
Sure. Thanks for sharing that. Another question. So we are currently from Sylvia. We are currently selling on eBay and Etsy only, and planning to start on Amazon soon. We store all our items at home, and we have recently registered for VAT. We currently use 24/48 Royal Mail services as our main delivery option. I know there are lots of different options to start on Amazon. What would your recommendations be given all of the above? So essentially FBA versus fulfilled by seller. Let's start with Ryan. What are your thoughts?
Well, just touching on the last question quickly about the clothing.
Sure.
I always try to be kind of as blunt and honest as possible. So with the clothing idea, is that idea based on numbers and sales volumes? Just based on the way the question's worded, I would assume it's just something that someone I feel like selling some clothing. I feel like selling clothing I'll do on Amazon. Clothing as it goes on Amazon is probably one of the most competitive markets you can go into on Amazon. So I think it'd be very, very difficult to try and launch and scale and with a product like that make it profitable. So again, I would take your softwares like Helium 10, like your Jungle Scouts, find your main keywords, whether it be children's clothes or vest tops or leggings, look on Amazon and see, right, what is the actual competition of this product? Am I going to be able to get to page one? And if not, it's going to be a very difficult journey for you to sell those products. So again, I always take numbers into account rather than more so than just, well, that's, I guess, just what you feel like selling. At the end of the day, the numbers are going to determine where you're going to make money or not, and that's probably why we're doing things at the end of the day, is to make money. With the FBA, FBM, it depends on the situation. So I'm not sure. Currently selling on eBay and Etsy. I assume that's a private label product that they're selling based on what they've said. In which case, both methods work kind of the same. There's no real, unless you're if you're ordering in bulk a private label product from China, I'd probably go for FBA just for the less kind of time constraint of doing FBM and doing it yourself. If you're doing small quantities and things like that, then I don't know why not try out both options. If you've got 20 units, send 10 to FBA, do 10 FBM, and see which one works better. What's your margins like? What's the profit change? Do you get more sales for FBA? At the end of the day, you don't really know through testing. So I would just test both and see what works better from a margin standpoint and from a time standpoint.
Cool. Thanks a lot for that. I'm just conscious of time. So we would like to keep answering as many questions as possible. We've got your details, so feel free to send us all your questions our way, and then we'll be sharing everyone's details where you guys can kind of get in touch with everyone. So I just wanted to thank everyone for attending, for joining us today, and it's great to connect with other people that have joined us today, as well as our speakers. And then I just want to give the floor to all the speakers to leave the final remarks and the final closing statement. So we'll start with Siddiq, if you want to go first.
Whatever the product you are in, whatever the product you want to expand, build a relationship in that niche with everybody, whoever the dominant players are. Even though you think they are competitor, they are not. They are competitor in their own thinking. Build a relationship. Everybody need to know in your industry. Relationship is the king of making money and helping you to keep your brand on the top of the mind campaign awareness ongoing basis.
Brilliant. It's definitely some great advice there. And then Zain, if you want to go next.
Yeah, whatever stage you are, I don't mind whatever platform you sell on. The best way to grow will be to take risk, because this is something, and calculated risk. I'm not talking about like taking a blind risk, but a lot of people ask me, like, if I take a risk, like I will probably lose all of my money. But an hour ago, before starting this live stream, I wasn't sure if I will be able to make it here as well. In the start of 2012 or 13, when I started selling, the revenue wasn't good as compared to amount of work that I was putting inside. But I've been taking risk. I've been consistent. And the best thing that you can do at the moment is to, if you are selling, then look into other way to scale your business as well, sell more products. But if you are on one platform, for example, if you are just selling on eBay at the moment, then look into selling on Amazon. It might seem hard a little bit in the beginning, but yeah, if I will ask you 5 years from now, your answer will be, yeah, definitely that was a good thing to do back then.
For sure, diversifying, taking risks is the journey of the entrepreneur, and many other things. Hi, if you want to go next, please.
Sure. I mean, my experience is really to focus on profits, and it only happens if you maximize your profits and grow fast. And I think that that's what I would say, like, to the Amazon sellers. Most, like, there is like 100,000 are starting on Amazon every day or a week. 50% of them fail before they reach to maybe 10-15,000, and the reason is because they don't create a sustainable business model. I think I like what Zain said. Like, I will start by testing as an Amazon seller. Like, people test even retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, but at the end you need to find a sustainable model, which is either like a wholesaling or it's private label. That's, sorry to be blunt on that, but and I think that the business needs to be profitable and scalable. So that will be my 2 cents.
Fair enough. I like the start, profit. Yeah, for sure. But that it's not a good day to be in business. But loss can not be okay too, as long as over time one can kind of go on that journey, for sure. But thanks a lot for sharing that. And then Ryan, if you wanna add your final bits to the audience too, please.
I think Amazon is easy but not simple. I think the process itself is very easy to go through. Anyone could do it. You don't need a degree. You don't need to be really intelligent to be able to do it. You just need to know how to do it. I think as well as Amazon is, as good as it is to make money, it's also a very fast way to lose money. Like we just said a minute ago, a lot of people do lose money with it and quit before they reach a certain milestone. And often when they stop, it's because they're losing money. They're not doing very well. More often than not, it's not because Amazon isn't a great opportunity. It's not because Amazon isn't there to sell products and do well. It's done because they haven't really done things right. They've chosen the wrong product. They haven't known about launching. They haven't known about PPC or keyword research. They've just seen a little bit about Amazon, thought of a product, oh, that would do well, buy loads from trying to list on Amazon with a bad listing, and then no one buys it, it doesn't rank, and then they end up a couple of £1,000 down. So I think, again, the process is very, very easy. It's not simple. So you need to just know what you're doing. You need to treat it like a business. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not just, I'm going to sell a product on eBay really quickly and you can list it and someone will buy it. Amazon is very, very different, where you can't just list a product and it will sell as you can with eBay. You can take any item of just anything around your house and list it and someone will probably buy it. It's very, very different to Amazon. Amazon's all about ranking and numbers and algorithms. So much different to what eBay is. So if you want to do Amazon, then I'd say just take it seriously, treat it like a business, and really learn what you're doing before you get involved. Otherwise, you've got a pretty strong likelihood of doing something wrong and probably losing some money.
Yeah, well said. I think it's as much of a fairy tale it is to be an entrepreneur, but the hard facts of running a business and going through planning everything and managing your numbers is fundamental. And I think I echo that too. So thank you everyone for joining. And then on our side, my closing remarks is in regards to numbers, bookkeeping, managing your numbers, managing your bookkeeping, forecasting properly in order to grow your business. I feel on our side is fundamental, because that's something that is not as mainstream as it should be, I feel, in the e-commerce community or the ecosystem of selling online. But that's something that we've seen working with small time sellers, bigger sellers, all types of sellers. The ones that make it to year 2, 3, 4 are ones who are managing the numbers very granular and good level, and then ultimately using solutions. Not necessarily has to be awesome. It can be other services also, where it's just freeing up time so you can focus on product sales and marketing, and then automating where possible to save time and dedicate that time to other areas, which is going to help grow the business. Cool. So finally, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Zain. Thank you, Siddiq. Thank you, Hai. Thank you, Ryan, for giving us your time today, for sharing your insights, your great stories and great experiences. And hopefully it's been of great value to the audience. Thank you everyone who joined. I apologize for the questions we couldn't answer. We've just started our relationship with yourselves, so we'll endeavor to keep delivering value. You're open to join all our communities, Zain's, Siddiq's, Hai's, Ryan's, and wishing everyone a great long weekend, a good evening, and a good weekend. And take care, everyone. Thanks for joining, and have a good day.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.